Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's August 21st, 2021. Happy Saturday. LightsThunderAction will be on right after this song with episode 67. What if Shang Chi is eternally grateful? Words. BRB.
What you looking for? Listen, Thor is lovesick. Not looking for you to just hop up on my dick. Wanna get to know you and explore you and see where it go. Friends, maybe more, baby. Thor is cool with
whatever you find you wanting. We can sleep together often, or explore each other's hearts with love in the future while we talking. Whatever you find you wanting. We can sleep together often, or explore each other's hearts with love in the future while we talking.
Okay, here's the deal, baby, let's do it. Let's talk about it like adults and maybe prove it. You tell me how you feel and I listen to it. An empathic life I live, so I just do it. Wanna know your dreams and help you achieve them. Wanna comfort you anytime you bleed. And let's watch your movie, stay up talking, sleeping. Ecstasy in the morning, I'ma have you creaming. See, I'ma treat you right, cause my life hasn't been kind to me. So pay no mind on my pain from the past is my bane. And I have to let go of my failures or end up insane. With my last couple relationships, yeah, they went bad. And I had to get out the slum, so I went and slept around a bunch. End up feeling like a chump and my heart is empty. Cause this pain, no reprieve. Girl, I just hope you believe in me, cause
whatever you find you wanting, we can sleep together often, or explore each other's hearts with love in the future while we talking. Whatever you find you wanting, we can sleep together often, or explore each other's hearts with love in the future while we talking.
Listen, I understand I maybe just blew it. Women want confidence and I'm here to prove it. I tell you these fears so you can see through it. Talking about my heart, unconditional, you knew it. Any secret you have is always safe with me. Anytime I see you, yeah, all I feel is glee. When we are together, it is electricity. Anything you set your mind to, I know you will succeed. All the dudes before me, girl, yeah, I think they knew it. I think they knew that you were clean and that is why they blew it. Never could keep up with you and ran off and said screw it. Only looking for the cut and thinking with the unit. I'm looking to get in each other, yeah, we're talking deep. Understand the pain and joy, I know it won't be cheap. We talking about soul bonding and the rewards that it reap. I know it is scary, but come on, baby, let's leap.
Whatever you find you wanting, we can sleep together often, or explore each other's hearts with love in the future while we talking. Whatever you find you wanting, we can sleep together often, or explore each other's hearts with love in the future while we talking. Whatever you find you wanting, we can sleep together often, or explore each other's hearts with love in the future while we talking. Whatever you find you wanting, we can sleep together often, or explore each other's hearts with love in the future while we talking.
We got a sticky situation, honey. Can't you see we got 1,130,000 zombie bees? It's a flight full of living dead to go. Buzz, buzz all around your head to go.
Zombeez, zombeez,
C-O-M-B-E-Z. Zombeez. C-O-M-B-E-Z. Zombeez. There's the sight. Genetically altered minds infested these were dead. The day goes from the grave instead. Reanimated zombie days ago. Buzz, buzz, all they please. Zombeez. Zombeez. Zombeez.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Saturday, August 21st, 2021. Welcome to episode 67 of Lights, Thunder, Action, where every week two Thunder Buddies discuss all things Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and the latest happenings in the entertainment industry. I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
And I'm David Thompson. And coming up on today's show, we have a brand new Final Eternals trailer, the Shang Chi first reactions, which are overwhelmingly positive, and I can't wait to talk about those a little bit. And also where Ironheart, Riri Williams, will make her MCU debut. We're diving into all of that and more. Thomas, before we get into any of the news, what do you have for me?
Every week we are live beaming directly into your homes and phones via our LightsThunderAction Facebook and Twitter, and the HWWS Web TV channel on YouTube and Twitch. All of those links can be found at Linktr.com/LightsThunderAction, as you can see on your screen right now. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow to view the live version of our show where you can interact with us. But if you don't want to look at our ugly mugs and you just want to hear our beautiful voices, David, where can everyone find us?
Yes, you guys can find our audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, our hosting site Spreaker, along with a lot of other podcasting platforms. We should be anywhere you get your podcast. We should be up on there. If you're feeling generous, give us 5 stars, follow, like, review, do all those fun things. We just posted the audio for our MegaCon 2021 Orlando convention panel, Thunder Buddies Inside the Headlines. It's about 30 minutes long. Go check it out. That's the only place you can find the full panel conversation is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify at Lights Thunder Action. So it's been very exciting. Thomas, how you doing?
Dude, I'm good. We've made it. We're back like doing our shtick here.
The normal, yeah.
The old normal. I can't wait for our new normal when we can do these like all the time in person.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. It's been a long time since we've done our show this way. I kind of forgot how to set everything up this morning.
Yeah, right.
But like a week, normally I was like, oh man, it's been so long, but it's only been a week for us. We've done this a week ago at MegaCon.
Yep.
What a wonderful time that was. Thank you to everyone that came out. Thank you to the HWWSWebTV network for helping us get that panel, for giving us all the audio and video necessities we needed for the panel, supporting us and letting us, chill at the booth and sell some stuff, hang out with people. So much fun. MegaCon was amazing. I could go on a 15-minute diatribe about how great MegaCon was, but you could probably just follow me on Instagram and find those diatribes as they come out of my brain. I've been watching I've been watching a couple things. I've been working. I just finished my last day at Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Flourish. Thank you, Ken. I'm so damn excited about that. I'm going to be going into doing carpentry again for like double the pay. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be good. Pay off some credit card debt. But David, how are you doing? You got big news too, right?
Yeah, man. I got a full-time teaching job. It all kind of fell into place. Thank you. It all fell into place very quickly, and I'm very excited about it. Starting very soon, and it's just it's been an awesome time. It's been a crazy week, and I'm happy to be here, man. Madden 22 came out, and I love Madden. I love football, and football's upcoming, and I've been playing that a little bit, kind of trying to enjoy a little bit before I kind of dive all into the new job and everything like that. Just kind of trying to relax a little bit before all that happens. But yeah, it's been fun, and with the Madden thing, like if anyone's out there that likes Madden or whatever, I mean, Madden 22 is pretty good. It's not like Madden always does this. They don't like upgrade and change all that much. But I think the gameplay is a little bit improved. There's a lot more like animations and stuff with like tackling and breaking tackles. Like some things I really like is you'll like this, Thomas. I'm basically talking to you right now. Like there's a lot of like it almost feels like you're flipping a coin sometimes where like people go like say if you hit like square on a PlayStation or X on an Xbox to like dive tackle at someone, like if you're from behind them, there's always like an animation of like either you like tackle them from their ankles, or they do an animation where they like kind of I don't know, maneuver out of that ankle tackle and like almost like kick their feet out or something. And there's like a bunch of different variations, and it looks realistic is my point. Like you see that happens all the time in the NFL where people dive at each other and like they kind of can like evade it and stuff. And there's little things like that I like. And in the new Madden, the biggest thing I think I actually enjoy that it adds a new element to everything, and actually I think works pretty well, is this whole home field advantage thing, where there's like this like meter of what would you call it? Like a meter, like a momentum meter that you see at the top above the scoreboard.
They've brought it back.
yeah, and it's better. It's better. So each team has their own like each home team has their specific like abilities, I guess, if they have it on their side, and there's like 3 different tiers and stuff depending on how far you go. And yeah, it's really good. Like even playing against the computer, just because of that element to it all, it adds like so much more, and you can really like feel the momentum. And like on the PS5 too, Klein's watching, he knows like there's the haptic feedback, like the vibrations in the controller. That's really like that's really like I guess nice. I don't know, very cool technology. And in Madden, like you feel that thing like moving, and like it's like like I don't know, it's crazy. And there's a bunch of different little wrinkles to that. Obviously, like I said, every team has a different, special ability, and then there's like abilities on top of that. And anyway, it's a fun time. Like it's not like, they didn't completely change the game or anything. And I know there's like some people with bugs and stuff, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the gameplay, and yeah, it's been fun. I'm doing great, man. It's been a great week for me. Trust me. Thomas, you saw something last night that you really want to talk about, and I want to hear your thoughts more on.
Yes. Really quick on Madden.
Yeah,
bro. I mean, listen, I was talking to my roommate yesterday, maybe the day before, and we were like, oh, Madden comes out in like 2 days. And we're like, we're going to split it. We'll game share it. We'll do all that good fun stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but I'm going to wait till next week when I get my first paycheck at the new job with that double pay situation. And he's like, oh yeah, because you're probably going to buy the one with all the Madden Ultimate Team upgrades. And I was like, damn, you know me so good, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I literally looked at him and I'm like, I care about nothing but the new uniforms, because I'm a suit guy, baby. I love a good suit. I love a good Spider-Man suit, which I bought at MegaCon. I love a good Thor suit, which I made myself. I love a good suit about anything. 3-piece suit, 2-piece suit, superhero suit, football suit. Give them all. Let me own them all. So Madden, I'm very excited for that. I've also been watching Titans. A lot of good suits in Titans. Holy shit. That's my official review of season 3 of Titans. Holy shit. David, you should just start watching season 3. Okay. Don't really worry about seasons 1 and 2, because I can explain to you what happens.
YouTube video maybe, or just talk to you.
You can watch a YouTube video, but season 3 is like a whole level above.
Yeah, I did give it a shot. I don't know if you remember. Like I watched the first 2 episodes of season 1. I just didn't stick.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Forever ago. And I was like, I'm not just like invested.
Yeah, I was invested because I was like, well, I have
There's
time.
so much to watch these days too. Like something I really was enjoying Superman and Lois, and I never got back to watching it. But it's all on HBO Max now, I think.
Yeah, it just ended last week, I think. So it should be all up
nice,
there.
So it's now bingeable. I will say, man, this is a hard tangent.
Uh-oh.
The bingeable content is still fun to me, right? Like how Netflix does it with imagine if just What If was just dumped at one time. I mean, I understand it's more of like a
Yeah.
media move, and it makes
Mhm.
sense that each week they have us like anticipation,
Mhm.
people writing more stories, just more buzz around it when there's week by week. But with a show like, is Visions all at once? I want to say it might be, because I know.
Yeah,
See, that's
it
awesome,
is.
man. That's
It
awesome,
is.
especially in those anthology like series,
Yeah.
like What If,
Mm.
for instance. With What If, like I think I know some people that didn't have any interest in watching the first episode, but it's like, oh, it's Chadwick Boseman for the second
Mhm.
one. I'm going to watch this because I want, and they're individual stories for the most
Yeah.
part. But it's something to it where I think, I don't know, being able just to sit down and watch it at your own pace is still fun. I get why Disney Plus and others don't do it, but
Mhm.
in a way, I kind of wish more shows would go back to doing the Netflix formula, even though I'm not sure that's exactly the best thing for business.
Yes. Thank you, Terry McIver.
Thanks, Terry.
Congratulating us in our comments and, being onward to our glorious purpose. Hello, Kyle Nunez, all the way from Amsterdam. No, that's not right. I'm sorry, Kyle. You live in Europe. He lives in Europe with Terry, different parts of Europe, but over there. Kleino the Dino is hanging out with us. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Reckless Rebellion. We're going to bring it. It's going to happen. It's going to be sweet. Speaking of stuff being sweet, I saw Free Guy last night, and I need to build this up for everyone. A week ago, doing the Kitchen Killers, their 4-year anniversary celebration after Friday night's MegaCon. Where fun fact, I had a cook-off against a genuine chef who's really good, and I made my mom's lasagna, and it got an 8.5 out of 10. So I don't know about you, but I think I won. Also, I broke my stomach because there was so much cheese, and I really messed up my digestive tract. I ate so much cheese in that one 2-day period that I just ruined my entire stomach.
That'll do it.
Yeah, being old is weird. Back to the plot. Mark B. Lee of Mark B. Lee Entertainment and Saturday Morning Cartoons, and Bob, is it Bob or Robert? What does it matter? Robert Lupo. He said they both went and saw Free Guy, and they, before everything went live, they were like, everyone needs to go see Free Guy. It is the movie of the year, and I know that's a tall task to say, but it's really good, and I stand by their statement because. I mean, that made me go, okay, well, I now want to go see this.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. First off, it's Ryan Reynolds. And it's Ryan Reynolds being a good guy. It's basically like me taking my shtick and making it PG as Spider-Man is the best way to describe it, and being just pure of heart. So good. What a great performance from him. The entire cast is just fucking amazing, dude.
Right.
From top to bottom, you've got Joe Carey as the main protagonist on the outside world, along with Jodie Comer, who's the female protagonist, and then of course Taika is playing the antagonist.
Right.
The best video game movie ever made. The way that they incorporate the video game into the story, into the script, the iconography is amazing. There's a spot where they start doing, somebody gets killed, and then you watch them go over and start teabagging them like it's a video game. And I died, dude. It was so funny. And there's a lot of little things like that. Someone will start doing a dumb Fortnite dance. Then there's a part. There's a 30 fucking second part that blew my mind. You get a couple of items from some universes that we like. Then you get another item from another universe we like. I'm trying to not spoil it. And then after that, a Fortnite pinata pickaxe shows up, and it's like, yes, dude. There are streamers in this movie: Pokimane, Ninja, other people whose names I don't know because I don't watch streamers.
Yeah.
And the way that they incorporate them into the story of instead of a montage, there's a montage of streamers, and they are like, oh, well, this guy is doing this. It's building the lore, and they build it so fast, and they use, well-known names that we Again, I don't watch streamers, but I knew 2 of the 6 that they showed. That's pretty
Right.
good odds, right?
Mhm.
The way that they brought it all together at the end is so heartwarming. And I could oversell this movie by telling you some stuff that happens, but I'm not.
Yeah.
It's so good, brilliantly written, and I want a spiritual sequel. Also, I will give anyone a very wicked crisp high 10 if they can find the Deadpool cameo in the movie.
I really want to see it. I might try to go see it tomorrow. I haven't been able to, but I really want to.
Mhm.
And like, especially after your review, I'm surprised you have it number 1. I guess not. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it just makes me more excited for it, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think when you said it's the best video game movie of all time. I guess mine right now, before seeing Free Guy, would be Ready Player One. I think.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep, that was mine as well.
Yeah, because that movie's I really enjoyed that movie and the performances in that, and just like the story of it all, and the CGI is really good in that movie with all the craziness. But yeah, I'm excited to see it. Ryan Reynolds sounds like a blast, honestly, and it's doing well at the box office. This isn't a What the News segment, but like we're not really talking box office today, but yeah, it did well, made almost $30 million, which for that kind of a movie right now in this climate is good. It's funny, you know. With the box office, some people think like, oh, talking about me specifically, like, oh, you said this number for that movie is bad, but this movie for the same number for a different movie is good. I'm like, yeah, that's how it works. That's literally how it works. But yeah, it's doing well. Apparently, actually, it's Friday. Numbers only went down like 50%, which is pretty good for right now, because things right now haven't had a lot of legs. But this isn't streaming anywhere. It's only in theaters. And it's giving a little more hope for the MCU movie Shang-Chi, which we're going to talk about in just a few minutes here.
Yes. Damn, you said something about it that I was like, oh, the CGI. This might be why I put it above Ready Player One. They don't use, like, the CGI is not on people. It's on the world around them. So, when you're in the game, it's the actors playing their avatar. And
is Wreck-It Ralph a video game movie?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Also up there. So I need to grab my water, man. I'll rank it like this. It's not an official like 1 through 5, but at the top is definitely Free Guy. Then Ready Player One. After that, you've got Wreck-It Ralph 1 and 2. The newest Jumanji movies.
Oh yeah.
And that's probably it. There's not a lot of great video game movies out there.
Yeah.
Gamer from back in the day. I'll use that. It's not technically a video game, but it is a virtual reality controlling reality.
Wait, does Sonic count?
I mean, it's based on a video game, but that's less about the video game world itself and more about the story.
But
that's a good question.
Yeah, and Mortal Kombat counts, but Mortal Kombat's not like, oh, we're playing a video game right now. It's just based on a video game. But that is that's an exact, people would say that is a video game movie, right? Like Uncharted is going to be a video game movie. Wait, I don't know now. This is a discussion. Because
this became, you know what? Let's table this till you see Free Guy, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
Because we're about to go into that's a tangent for sure. Because that was good. I didn't think about that. I was just thinking about utilizing the video game reality, because in my head I was also thinking Assassin's Creed is a shitty video game movie, and I'm like, those aren't even comparable.
Yeah, because like Free Guy, Ready Player One, Wreck-It Ralph, those are all like Jumanji. Yeah, exactly. Those are all movies that like actually use video game elements in them. Like they are self-aware, whereas Mortal Kombat and Uncharted eventually, and like Mario Bros. Terry saying in the chat, like it's not an actual like that's a video game movie though. Like, and they're making another Mario movie that's gonna be everyone's gonna say that is a video game movie.
We should maybe for our discussions it should be video game movie and properties based on video game movies.
Yeah.
We'll table this.
We'll table it.
We're going to go to a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, but don't forget that Suncoast Fan Fest is coming up September 24th through the 26th, and we might be there. Like David and I, we might be there. The Reckless Rebellion might be there. We'll see. I'm very excited about that. But our HWWS Web TV promo code for this event is HANGIN21, HANGIN21, all one word, no hyphens, no spaces. Just go to suncoastfanfest.com and enter when purchasing tickets. And I believe that code still gets you 10% off on your tickets. I could be wrong. I have to double check that. We threw this show together in less than 24 hours because we had time. But we're going to go on a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hello, I'm Thor, son of Dale, here to tell you about the Life of Thor Productions official shop. The only place where you can get your official merchandise for the LightsThunderAction podcast and Life of Thor's Thor Watches series. Whether you want t-shirts, tanks, hoodies, mugs, and masks, Life of Thor Productions official shop has you covered. If you happen to recognize there's an item that you would like to buy that is not in the official shop, head over to the LightsThunderAction podcast or Life of Thor and request that item, because if you want it, we'll sell it. Just head to lotproductions.threadless.com/collections to get the item that calls out to you via the Force. Again, that is lotproductions.threadless.com/collections. Thank you, and have a Thortastic day.
A small town coroner has to team up with her ex-fiance to save her town from a swarm of mutant honeybees. There's action, drama, suspense, humor, maybe even a flamethrower or two. There's definitely a ton of bad bee puns and a very unlikely Hawaiian-wearing hero, dude. Written and directed by Alicia Marie, starring local talent from the Emerald Coast, Zombeez invites you to join our journey from conception to reception by visiting GoFundMe/F/Zombeez-feature-film. That's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Just check out our visuals. You can also go to Instagram or Facebook, Zombeez the movie, ZOMBEEZ the movie. And because we have you here, that's right, we're back, and we're talking about zombies, I really, really, really cannot wait to show everybody this clip from Zombeez. Let me see if I can get it pulled up way faster than I did earlier today. David, have you seen this clip?
The one you just showed me?
I did show you. Okay, so there you go. I have apparently shown David. This is still our ad break, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm very excited to show like everyone our hard work. You know what I'm saying?
Ed, I'm sure that we can get this taken care of.
Well, you better. I got
All
hay,
right.
I got equipment
You
in
don't
there,
have to
I got
yell at
animals
me,
all
Ed.
around.
You could
You
we're right
just
here.
burn the whole
We're right
place
here.
down.
You don't have to yell at me.
I do
hear
have
that?
to. Yeah, you just blew up my barn.
I said, do y'all hear that? Holy flippin' mother of pearl!
Oh man, that's like the inciting incident.
I just
for
want to
most of our
see like the
characters.
camera pan or like what's like next, right? That's what's really good about that clip for promotion is that you want to like stay watching. You know, it's like, all right, what's going on? You hear the bees, like what's are they zombies? Like what's going on here, man?
Yeah. In there, you know, you got the writer director, friend of the show, Alicia Marie, Teens Blackburn, Keandria Harris, and James Poole. James Poole plays my film dad. So yeah. But enough of that fun, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time for this beautiful journalist to my right to enlighten us with new information from across the multiverse. David Thompson works for thedirect.com. He worked for the disinsider.com. You see him here every week, and that is why it is everyone's favorite segment. What the news?
All right, what the news this week, ladies and gentlemen? Starting off hot with the Eternals trailer, the final trailer. It says, "Wow, to me, this looks really good." It just added on to what my thoughts were after the first trailer. Which, if you guys don't remember, it was I didn't know. I still don't know much about the Eternals besides the fact now we're getting a bit more in this trailer where it's like, oh, we couldn't interact or I guess kind of like help the Avengers because our responsibility was to only defend against the deviants. And it seems like they got their their mission from a Celestial. And it looks like it's the same Celestial from the moment in Guardians of the Galaxy who's wielding the Power Stone, like decimates a planet. And that's super cool. It's really awesome that what I think is most fascinating about the Eternals, and one thing that I was actually apprehensive about initially is that, you know, this style of world building is like, wow, like what's really happening almost like above everything else in a way. Like what are these people been doing? And the fact that it can still be its own story and not make everything else feel cheap is, I'm already getting that like feeling where it's like, you know, they have their own reasons, they have their own code, they have their own, you know, I guess job description where it's different. And I gotta say, Richard Madden looks awesome as Superman. I mean, Icarus, dude. Icarus looks great. I'm already in on Icarus. He's already my favorite character so far. The laser beams, the flying around. He looks awesome. Angelina Jolie also looks awesome with her all that.
Do we want to watch it?
I don't know. It's up to you. We can just talk about it.
Let's watch it.
Right.
We can watch and talk at the same time. We'll turn the volume down, turn the subtitles on.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because you can't hear it or see it. Sorry, everyone. There it is. Way back.
Yeah, it's cool that they actually mentioned Thanos. Like, they really get into it. And then, was it your thought, Thomas, or someone else maybe, where it's like, oh, the Eternals, you know, this movie could really set up possibly, well, it's diving into, like...
Yeah, what is the emergence?
Yeah, and it's diving into, like, the effect of those snaps, right?
Yes.
And could possibly lead to the mutants, is what people are speculating. And I think it would be a really cool idea, because I've wanted this. You know, I want stories, and hopefully Shang-Chi gives us a little bit of it too. You know, give us those ramifications from Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. Like, don't shy away from it. I understand you're moving forward and we're moving on to the multiverse and everything, but don't shy away from these stories. Icarus! Icarus looks awesome!
Why didn't you
don't
guys
shy
stop
away
that?
from, like, dealing with these issues and possibilities. And I think, I don't know. This movie just looks great. Look, it looks beautiful. I'm talking about cinematography-wise. Like, it doesn't look... It does... Similar to the first trailer, it doesn't look like a normal Marvel movie, which makes me very excited.
It kind of reminds me of Man of Steel. It really does.
Great movie.
You know, like the cinematography, the seriousness that they take it all with, and how each character is just, well, I don't know, man. I say Man of Steel in terms of like the look for sure.
Snydery
the tone,
look.
The Snydery look in spots, you know. The tone in the action more than anything is really what I'm looking at. It's still very bright and colorful, not as bright and colorful as everyone was hoping. You know, everyone's complaining about it's not Kirby enough. But if you look at their stuff, you have the Kirby dots. If you look at their magic, it is all based in geometric shapes. Like this shot right here feels like that shot right there where Cersei touches something. It feels like it's so much more powerful and impactful than what this trailer. It's like, oh, that looks cool. I got a feeling that moment is huge, and that could spawn an entire thing. What's going on with bad guy? Whose name I don't remember. Like holding up Angelina Jolie's Thana.
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna see? I love this little clip here as well. You talk about the Vibranium table, and it's just like, it's made of IKEA. Like, I love that.
Yeah, and I like how it's so outside of the MCU. It feels like where they're almost like they're not the watcher, but they've been watching, and it's like this, and the fact that they're a separate, like, it's a side story, but it's almost like an outside side story where it feels completely distant from the normal MCU, like not grounded at all. They're gonna have their own like origins, and my one maybe small concern, but the MCU has always done a great job at this. There's a lot of characters, brand new characters they have to introduce in this movie, which is exciting. This feels like a true origin story. Like if they didn't talk about, you could probably watch this movie without seeing other Marvel movies better than say a lot of the stuff in Phase 3 with it not having to understand. Like if you just saw Avengers Endgame, essentially, it's like, all right, let's go. Like let's roll with it. You know, we can sit down and watch it and enjoy. It doesn't seem like, I mean, there might be a cameo or two, but I feel like Shang-Chi, for instance, the way that's looked so far, I don't know what happens in it or anything, but that, you know, there's Abomination, there's Wong, like that seems just more like in the MCU. This somehow, some way feels almost outside of the MCU, but it truly is still a Marvel Studios movie that's going to lead to much more, I hope. And I'm very excited for it. This trailer did a lot for me, just like the first one did. Like, expectations are honestly like they've been through the roof. And I love that I actually don't know much about the Eternals. Like, I'm excited to go in there and learn and just know more about them. Like, I'm not the kind of guy who's like, I know Matt Rimke, he kind of like, I don't know if he already knew about it, but he kind of learned up and like started like researching a ton and writing articles and stuff, which, you know, more power to him. And I think that's great because then you actually know what's going on. You can talk about it a little more intelligently, possibly. But me, I'm happy to go in there kind of not ignorant, like, you know, just not knowing who these people are really. You know, Superman, Icarus, like, cool. All right. Like, I don't know what Kit Harington's character is going to be like. It all just looks very fun to me.
So I want to, you know, in terms of it, you know, not feeling like the MCU and it feels like, you know, outside of it, it kind of is outside of it, but not outside. It's more above it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
We've been following along since 1945. We've been following for less than 100 years. A fraction, a tiny fraction of how long the Eternals have been on Earth. 7,000 years they've been on Earth. Right? And there's allegedly it's called a show Bible. But apparently it's so big that it's an actual timeline scroll that takes up 16 feet of table, and it goes back tens of thousands of years, and it goes a couple thousand years in the future as well. Right. And that is something Kevin Feige has had since day one of starting Marvel Studios. He has had this idea. The Eternals did this, they did this, these people did that, these are going to do that, these are going to go there, and let's focus here and hope that we can branch out. And I think with Eternals, you know, people are complaining. They're like, well, why didn't they stop Thanos? Isn't Thanos a deviant? Maybe. Right. Here's the thing, though. If I'm not mistaken, he's a half-breed.
Yeah, and apparently, so this is a discussion, obviously, when the trailer came out amongst people on the internet and stuff. And I heard from a friend at thedirect.com that he kind of did some more research and looked into it a bit more. It's like, yeah, he's half deviant, but apparently his blood isn't deviant. And here's my thing with all this. Like, this is the MCU. They can say whatever they want. They can twist whatever they want. Yes. They can make him not a deviant. You know, they can. And I think because they talked about Thanos in a trailer, we got a name drop. I hope we dive into more of their relationship with him because he is connected. And I think there's something to it. I think the fact that, you know, maybe Thanos was the one to snap his fingers and all this, that maybe that's a reason why of this awakening, this eternal awakening that they have to now fight and kind of like have this first movie and go on this adventure. Like, I hope they don't just talk about Thanos as if he's just some random guy who decimated half the universe. I hope they talk about him as if it's someone familiar, I guess is my point.
Well, he is related to Thana. So, and it's interesting that when they find her, she's alone in the desert doing her own thing.
Yep.
And then she's just like, hello.
Yeah, she seems kind of like her own person. She almost went away from it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, she's definitely got weight on her shoulders, which is what excites me the most about her character is like, I'm trying to remember if they're cousins or brother and sister in the comics. I don't fully remember. But, you know, that relationship, you know, like if somebody in my family went and did something terrible, I would carry that weight on my shoulders.
Right.
You know, as someone who tries to be a good person. So I'm very excited to see that. The magic and how it uses the Kirby dots and the way it just manifests, the way that they can use it to shoot at, like, you know, fucking really cool. Congo, just Kumail Nanjiani just shooting stuff from his fingers. I do laser fingers all the time. I'm like 5, dude. Let's go. I'm so pumped. Okay, here's a good point from Terry as well. Thanos didn't threaten the end of the world, just erasing half of the universe, which is a good point, technically, because they said, you know, people are like, oh, it's a universe level threat. Is it really, though, when only half the people die? And it is random, which we'll get to a little bit later. We're going to table Thanos. We're going to table Thanos for a minute. I'm hyped for Eternals. We could probably dissect this over and over, but who cares? I will say, David, I made a mistake. I bought a book, or I got a book from the library, and I was like, ooh, mythology within Marvel Universe. Like, let's go. Well, the second chapter was all in the Eternals. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
have but it wasn't like in-depth knowledge. So like Icarus, right? Spoiler alert. Do you want to know? It's not really, I think of Icarus as the man who flew too close to the sun.
Right.
Well, that's not the same guy.
Mhm.
That's actually Icarus's son. He made wings for his son and told him not to fly too high because it would melt.
Right.
And his son's name was Icarus. And when his son died, he took on his name to carry his legacy. And I was like, as soon as I read that, I went back and rewatched
Superman.
Yep. And I went back and rewatched the first trailer. So when they like all his interactions, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, he's a father who lost his son and took his son's name on. Like I see it now. Like it clicks. And in this trailer, even more so. The whole, because I saw last night the first trailer of Eternals in IMAX, and I was like, fuck, I wish we'd have gotten the new one. So rewatching that now, I'm like, man, it really does tie in. So I'm very excited to see Super Madden. That's right. We just named him Super Madden to do his thing. And I am very excited. But you know what else is very exciting, Dave? Oh, really quick question. You think this is going to win an Oscar?
It actually has the best odds in Vegas. I think it might win an Oscar. I do not think it wins Best Picture, if that's the question. But I think it might win some other Oscar, like special effects or something like that.
You know what could win Best Picture? Free Guy. Moving on. Shang Chi Reactions has come through, and we'll answer this question at the end, David. Where is your hype level?
Yeah, so I mean, the premiere happened for Shang-Chi. People are allowed to, say their first reactions, social media reactions to the movie, and they have been overwhelmingly positive. There were some early showings that Marvel released. It was in some major markets. The only one here in Florida was in Miami. I couldn't make it down there on Thursday night. By the time I even got to the link, it was a waiting list anyway, so it wasn't going to happen. That's 3 hours for me, so it wasn't going to happen anyway, but Matt Rimke, friend of the show, the Direct Podcast, John Ross Bradford, friend of the show, all from the Direct.com. They saw it. Liam saw it. That's right. I forgot Liam saw it as well. Also from the Direct Podcast, and overwhelmingly positive. Like I am surprised how positive it is, and I'm so excited because honestly, like I was more excited for Shang-Chi, and then I became more excited for Eternals. Based on the trailers, because Shang-Chi, like I said, it felt a bit more basic. It's not the right word, but kind of basic in the same way where it seems like very MCU, very just like, oh, another origin story, like could just be like a mid-level movie, and that's fine. Mid-level MCU movies are really good, right? Like I enjoyed Black Widow a lot, and that's mid, like it for the MCU. Apparently, Shang-Chi breaks through that mid-level expectation and is like phenomenal. Like people are praising the choreography and the mythology of it, which makes me very excited because that's what I want to see a lot of, like the fantasy of it all. And then also apparently the third act is just like off the walls, like crazy. And there's a really crazy mid-credit scene which I cannot wait to see. And I do not. If that gets spoiled for me, I would be so upset.
It's the mid-credit scene that's been confirmed for you? All I know is that they say a post-credit scene, but like, is it the first or the second? They haven't made it clear.
I believe it's the mid-credits. I think Soups, Matt Ramos, he's movie guy. He said mid-credit scene, I think, on TikTok. But yeah, anyway, hype level through the roof. Can't wait. Just a couple weeks away. I'm gonna try to order my tickets probably today. Yeah, man, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to the fact that everyone's so excited about it and that it's gonna be like yes, we get a new awesome character and a new awesome franchise in the fourth phase of the MCU. Like, that's what I want, man. And I'm happy that Marvel movies are coming back. It's not just these TV shows, which I've enjoyed, but I'm a movie guy, man. I'm excited that we're getting hopefully an awesome movie that we can all kind of rally behind and go out and see it in the theater and does successful at the box office and everything like that. So very excited. I'm, at this point, I can probably only be disappointed a little bit. So I can't wait to see it. Thomas, what are your thoughts with all these crazy positive reactions coming out after seeing it?
Very excited. We've talked about it. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they do. The action looks great. I don't remember who it was, but it's like, this movie, man, it might have been me. And it might have been in like our second episode or third episode ever of this fucking show, which man, were we green at that point. But I think we mentioned, you know, like Shang Chi could be the sleeper hit. People are like, oh, who's Shang Chi? And there's a reason they named it Shang in the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yes.
And that's kind of what I was focused on. Like, they're going to get the real Mandarin. We're going to find out about the Ten Rings, which has been there since day one of Marvel. Like, that group that, you know, kidnapped Iron Man were a part of the Ten Rings. So, excuse me, kidnapped Tony Stark to become Iron Man, a part of the Ten Rings the entire time. So everyone kind of in the universe knows. I mean, they were trying to buy the Pym particles. They've been there. They've been lingering about. And so now we're going to find out who they are, right? And what the Ten Rings really is and why there's a legend. And it seems to me, like from the visuals that I've seen, you know, his mother does, I call it the Kamehameha build.
Yeah.
As you get your energy. And as she does it, like the leaves behind her are all flowing. And I'm like, yo, this is going to be absolutely insane visually. And now all the reactions that are coming through is saying that the story is is like the best part of the movie. And David, like, that's what excites me the most is they're saying the story. You can have a good, fun popcorn flick with terrible story, Fast franchise, or you can have a fun, amazing popcorn flick with a great story, great characters, and heart. Free Guy. So there's two totally different ways you can have fun in a movie. But if you give me the fun with an amazing plot, I'm all for it, dude. Like, you know, we were just talking about Man of Steel comparison with Eternals, right? And we were talking about how it kind of looks the cinematography, the action is like very similar.
Yeah.
You know, Superman, like that Man of Steel movie gives you some of that fun popcorn stuff, but it also gives you a great story. And if I had to weigh it down in anything, it's that it's a little bit, it's murder porn. It's not really the exact word, but like cataclysmic porn. You know, it's just like, oh, all of these buildings are falling. That's my only thing I'm not a fan of in that movie because I'm like, okay, bummer. Outside of that, I still give it like an 8 out of 10. Like, it's so good that only knocks it down maybe 0.2 points because I'm like, it happens.
Yeah.
So this movie, I'm all the way hype. I'm trying not to be at 100 because we still got like 13 days. So, but I'm like right there I'm at a 91, David, because I'm gonna stick to the year I was born.
Nice.
That's where I'm at. 91 out of 100. And that's only for shits and grins. Really quick. Terry thinks that Eternals could win Oscar for cinematography.
Yeah.
And boy, let me just say, in my opinion, cinematography, like winning the Oscar for the cinematography is, I think, the most objective of all of them, of the categories. Because, I mean, it's subjective technically because everybody likes their own way of cinematography. But when something wins cinematography, usually everyone's like, yeah, I can see why that won. Unlike, you know, best picture or best actor, it's like, wait, why'd that person win?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
That.
Yeah.
So if they do win that, might be the biggest fucking win for Marvel ever. Like, they could win best picture, but again, it's like, well, was it the best picture?
Best picture would be crazy. Like, that would be that'd be intense. Because in a Marvel movie, winning best picture, like that'd be something.
And if it is Eternals, just think about that. We've had, 90 years. And so then when they expand it 7,000 years, all of a sudden people go, oh shit, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's our next story? Oh yeah, sticking in with the MCU, Riri MCU debut set. It was supposed to rhyme, but I lost it.
Yeah, so coming from comicbook.com, this is a quote from Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios president himself. We're shooting Black Panther Wakanda Forever right now, and the character of Riri Williams you will meet in Black Panther 2 first. She started shooting, I think, this week before her Ironheart series. So, really cool confirmation here that we're getting Ironheart in Wakanda Forever. I know there was a comic book run of Black Panther from like 2018 or something, where I saw some panels on Twitter of Shuri and Riri Williams like interacting and stuff. They don't actually like get along immediately, which sounds like a cool dynamic. And this is exciting. I like I like this formula of setting some characters up, giving them a small role in a movie, and then they have their own side story in their own Disney Plus show. That's how this should be. That's how you make this a cinematic universe, and that's on, television and movies. And I'm very excited about this. Like this Ironheart character. Honestly, I've never read any of the comics, but I'm interested in, what her connection will be with, Tony Stark and I guess with Wakanda now. And I'm very excited about this. I'm excited to see that this movie is going to be a branch for that series. Thomas, what were your thoughts on this?
I think it's super dope. I'm very excited to just. We were always wondering why they announced her, like the actress. Which, if you can hop in the research department real quick and figure out her name, because I just blacked out and totally blanked on her name. Dominique Wilkins?
Dominique Thorne.
Damn, Dominique Thorne. She was announced in December, and we were like, whoa, like they've already cast her. And they announced like 5 shows before that had nothing announced other than, oh, we're making this show, we're making this show, we're making this show, we're making this. And Dominique Thorne is going to be playing Riri Williams. And it was like, that was weird that they already cast her. And now we know why. She's going to be in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is, I saw those same panels you did. And the best part is, for most of it, I was like, they're not getting along. They're like having some friction. But it's not till like the last page that it was posted where it's outright like anger from both of them. They're both they're both really intelligent. You know what? Here it is. It's like Doctor Strange and Tony Stark meeting. 2 brilliant people who know that they're good at what they do. But I think in this case, it'll take their ego like the ego will be way lower. So your frustration level will probably be higher because it's not like, well, I'm better than this. It's like, why are you being like this? And I read every line of Shuri as the MCU Letitia Wright, as she would have said it. And I'm like, dude, this would be so funny. Like her throwing these little jabs, but it comes off like quips. Like so good. I really hope we get something like that. And we were discussing it, David. Is her suit made of vibranium? Like,
yeah, you would assume so at this point. I mean, the fact that, we brought up in our conversation over text that like Sam Wilson's suit doesn't even look like a vibranium Wakandan suit, and that is from Wakanda. So she's actually going to be in the movie, and who knows, hey, maybe some of the confrontation is her being like, oh no, I can do it better.
Yeah.
We never know. And I think it's interesting too that we'll get introduced to her here. It's almost similar in a way to Spider-Man's introduction, right? Where she might have a small role here, and then she'll just go off and have her own story, and it may not be quite an origin story as like Spider-Man was in the MCU. It wasn't really an origin true to like the name of like the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2002, but they introduced them here. They're already kind of maybe doing something, and then in the series we can kind of dive right into it and see more of the character. But it could be different also. It could be maybe in this series it's before she does any of this Ironheart stuff, right? And then in the show we kind of get to see like her origin, so they can handle it a few different ways.
David, what if I wish I had a sound effect for every time I said what if, just like bum, bum, like the Law and Order, what if bum bum. Anyways, I'll work on that. What if, because Riri Williams is supposed to be like 15, right?
Yeah, she's a kid.
Well, what if she's the daughter of Killmonger?
That'd be intense.
Right? Wouldn't that be pretty crazy? If she's the daughter of Killmonger, then she comes in and she finds out she's Wakandan and blah, 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 blah. And, I get the feeling that she'll just want to do her own thing.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. It'd be a nice little way to just tie some stuff together. Will it even matter? Because, aren't we going to end up with like another Killmonger at some point, thanks to What If? And I mean that in the live action sense, because we'll get to this a little bit later. I did find an article about Chadwick's performance and what he said and he wanted to do because of What If in Black Panther 2. We'll get to that when we talk about What If a little bit more. But I think this is amazing. I am so excited that we're gonna finally I'm excited we're finally getting information that is legitimate here, because we've got a lot of rumors, the Namor of it all. So hell yeah. David, It's time. We get to jump into my favorite universe. That's right. I said it. I said it. Star Wars is my favorite universe. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I'm fucking not. Vision's trailer wows everybody, and I really do want to know, where does this end up ranking in your Star Wars hype, David, while I pull up the trailer?
Yeah, I mean, so Star Wars Visions, it's the anime kind of anthology. It's its own a bit of a what if, for Star Wars animated. It's an anime, so it's not just like it's not gonna be the animation style, obviously, of MCU what if, but it's cool. It's different studios and like the fact that each episode's gonna feel completely unique and different, even in the style of it, because different studios producing them and different studios have different styles, and it's such a cool project, man. Like it's really for like, where does it rank in my Star Wars hype? It's got to be probably number 3 right now.
Ooh.
I would say probably behind Obi-Wan, Mandalorian season 3, but that to me that's like stuff that's actually like on the horizon. I mean, the Taika movie seems so far in the distance. I almost don't even want to put it on the list for right now. But
Fair.
Visions, right around the corner. Apparently, I think they're dumping all the shows at once. That's gonna be awesome. Like, I'm a casual anime fan. Like, I like it. Okay. Like, I mean, I like it okay. Let's stick with that. And I'm really excited to see this and get a Star Wars what if of sorts, where it's like completely non-canon stories. They just kind of can do what they want, and I love the creative freedom of it all. And it just looks awesome, man. Like this trailer especially, you really get to see the animation in movement, and I want to hear more about your thoughts, Thomas.
I'll give my thoughts as we kind of go along. I mean, first off, the fact that they use, man, how do I start this? The fact that they're basically taking Star Wars right back to its roots in Japanese culture, in the samurai culture, which is what anime has always been about. If you watch anime, you realize it's the samurai code and a lot of different stories, and a lot of different characters, excuse me. This show looks insane. We're getting, I don't know if you can hear right now, but we got hip hop in Star Wars, and I need it. I didn't know I needed that until they gave it to us. Like Kleino the Dino said, man. I'm so hyped because it's original. It's not set in the canon. It's just going to be a great story. And some of them, right there, that's Boba Fett's ship, formerly known as Slave One, now going to be known as Spitfire. Fun fact, that's a new segment. We have Rey with her spinning red things. Each different animation style, I love.
You can tell.
Like
you
the
can
podcast,
tell immediately.
The podcast of it all. I mean, podcast. I'm so sorry. Pod racing, like that as a potentiality. Yes, give me that. It looks like we're going to be all across the timeline of Star Wars. Some places we know, some places we've never known, never heard of, which I love, And we've got Boba Fett. Here's the thing that blows my mind the most, David. Let me list off some of the names of the voice actors that I recognized by name and name alone. All right. David Harbour, Neil Patrick Harris, Simu Liu, right? Fucking Shang Chi is in this. Lucy Liu, Tamura Morrison, Bobby Moynihan, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Allison Brie, Kyle Chandler, Mark Thompson. Mark Thompson is a narrator for most of the Star Wars audiobooks that I've listened to. Kyle Chandler, Jordan Fisher, Jamie Chung.
The video still playing.
Oh, look at that guy. That guy looks great. What a great guy. Kyle Chandler, Jordan Fisher, Jamie Chung, George Takei. Fucking Sulu is in this. Oh my. Henry Golding. There are so many more. Like the fact that they dropped the entire voice actor list is probably what put it up an extra level of hype for me. I'm gonna be real, because it's closest. It's my number one. I can't lie. It's all about, like I'm always hyped for Kenobi. I can't put that in a ranking because it's Kenobi. It exists in its own reality of hype, right? Especially because we're getting Hayden Christensen as Vader, and maybe what's the word? Flashback Anakin. There we go. Star Wars
Mhm.
flashbacks. Definitely my number one. The fact that it comes out September 22nd and they're dropping all 9 at once.
So quick. That's so soon.
It's
That's
so
what I'm
soon.
saying. Like, yeah,
I
I
need
agree. I'm very excited for it. Like right now, because even
Yeah,
Book of Boba, that's in December.
4 months.
Yeah, and then what's Obi-Wan? Early 2022 ish.
Ish. Andor's later next year, and then
Andor, yeah, like all those other things. It still feels like the distance. This is like
Mhm.
here and now,
Yeah.
and totally new and different. And I'm excited just to like be in this world for a while. I hope this is only the first season. I hope there's maybe more if it is good, which I think it will be. So yeah, it's definitely I'm very excited for it. It's the one thing that's like it's the thing that's presently on my mind when it comes to Star Wars is this Visions show.
Mhm.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, same. And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because maybe, just maybe, we'll have more information about our Reckless Rebellion situation and Visions quests. We'll see what happens. Moving on, Disney Plus Day is going to be on November 12th, celebrating 2 years of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and read the thing for you.
Okay, cool.
Because I did all the research and I want to do a Bob Chapek impression because he's made some really weird comments and I have a fun voice for him. From our media networks to our theme parks to our consumer products, the synergy enables us to raise consumer awareness and further increase engagement with our streaming services. And the power of this synergy will be on full display on November 12th when we celebrate Disney Plus Day with an unprecedented company-wide cross-promotional campaign. Our robust pipeline of content continues to fuel growth, and we have an incredible lineup of new programming for Disney Plus. Disney Plus Day will be a balanced approach. Lost it. Disney Plus Day will be a balanced approach between global and local product. We're going to have a really exciting. I lost it again. We're going to have a really exciting lineup, as you might guess, as we approach those consumers who have not yet signed up for Disney Plus with a really attractive group of titles to be announced. David, what do you think we're going to learn?
First thing I wanted to say was this makes sense to me, this Disney Plus Day, especially because Chapek has been really pushing, direct-to-consumer Disney Plus. This is the future, la-da-di-da. And I think that having this Disney Plus Day is smart. And I think, what will we learn? I think we'll get announcements for new shows. It won't just be, obviously there'll be more than just Star Wars and Marvel. Like there's going to be a lot of other stuff that maybe we don't watch so much.
David.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get Moana. The Moana series.
Right.
Hard tangent really fast. Yesterday or today, Moana broke the record of being like number one on the music, like the soundtrack is number one on like the list. It's been there for 52 straight weeks. A full year that the soundtrack has been number one on the Billboard top soundtracks list, right?
Yeah. Wow.
No one's ever done that. And the movie came out in
2016, 17?
Yeah, a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
And it is the number one over the last year. And Disney Plus, Moana is apparently the number one thing on Disney Plus in all of 2020.
Wow.
According to The Rock.
Yeah.
So,
and you gotta trust The Rock. Always trust The Rock.
yeah, man.
Yeah. What will we learn? Maybe we get looks at like for stuff that we care about. Like maybe this is our first look at, say, something like Andor, Boba Fett, or Moon Knight, or She-Hulk. Kenobi would break my brain. But like the MCU shows, there's like She-Hulk, there's Moon Knight. I'm trying to think of what is in development. Maybe we'll get like an official announcement. Oh, Secret Invasion, you mean? Yeah.
That's definitely what I meant. My bad.
And maybe, I know there was just a report saying that Loki Season 2 is going to start development. Maybe we get an announcement, a date or a year for Loki Season 2.
Or
director. That could be exciting. Or director. Yeah, like, I don't know. It seems like it's going to be a really big event. I think they're going to dive into a lot of different things. I think they're probably going to try to focus on, like, unannounced, or maybe, they do this thing where, like, something's announced, but then they kind of, like, officially announce it and kind of put their stamp of approval on it and, like, give you a little something extra to it, like who's officially cast and all these things. Like, we get to that with Moon Knight and She-Hulk and other things like that. Like, maybe a What If Season 2 tease and Secret Invasion. there's going to be stuff like that where we get a greater look at it and kind of a more of a confirmation for series like for Marvel and Star Wars.
You know what I hope we don't get?
Yeah.
Like direct to Disney Plus MCU films.
I do not want that. I would pass.
Yeah, that's what I hope we don't get. I hope we don't get direct to Disney Plus Star Wars films either. I understand the mindset.
Actually could happen because the thing is with Star Wars.
No.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, but I feel like Star Wars has much more of this positive footing on Disney Plus, and if you look at their well, that's not necessarily true.
Does it?
No. Okay, I take that back. Not like more than Marvel, but I think Star Wars right now, their bread and butter is Disney Plus, and Marvel, I think, still believes its movies is its like strength because after the sequel trilogy compared to The Mandalorian, there's more hype about The Mandalorian. Which is crazy. Like that honestly, nothing better could have happened for Disney than that. The blow up of Mandalorian, because that gave them so much incentive to push out these Disney Plus shows, make more.
Mm-hmm.
And like it became so popular, incredibly like just a household name, Baby Yoda, boom, and it's a Disney Plus show. So I think that like Star Wars. Obviously, they're really focusing on these series on Disney Plus. You only have two confirmed movies that are in the works with Patty Jenkins and Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
And I think there's a possibility. I think there's more of a possibility that a Star Wars movie would go on Disney Plus than Marvel, because it feels like Marvel is still trying to separate those, right? Like they're still trying to, Marvel Studios at least is trying to. I don't know about Disney itself. I don't know about Chapek, right? Like with everything going on with Scarlett Johansson and like. Now there's this question with Shang Chi, even though it's going on only in theaters, but you know what I mean.
45 days.
45 days. Same with Eternals. That's the new standard, right? So if I had to take a guess, I would say Marvel or Star Wars, would have a better chance of getting a straight to streaming movie. But I hope it doesn't happen for either. I want to go see a movie, or at least have the option. Maybe do premiere access. I want to at least have the option to go out to a theater to see any movie. Especially when it's Star Wars or Marvel, when IMAX.
Doggy?
Yeah, he's barking.
Doggy.
When IMAX is so awesome and they make them for him now, and give me 1 second.
You're good. While the dog is being adorable and barking and being all dog-like, I will say that, I agree with David that we could get we could get Star Wars movies on Disney Plus, because that is kind of where Star Wars has taken the next level up in Star Wars has leveled up on Disney Plus, if you will. And I love the idea. I'll get to this idea in a moment, because what I hope we get from Disney Plus Day is something that we probably will not. It is a pipe dream, to say the least. But I like the idea that we could get hardcore announcements for Disney. Oh my God, is that what I sound like? For Disney Plus shows, or other shows like they announced a fuck ton of shit last year. We had a 3-hour show on just Marvel and Star Wars. We didn't even talk about the Pixars of it all the great shows, the Moana series, which I could go on about. I know nothing, and I could go on about it for days and days and days. Let me tell you. But here's what I do hope we get. Something simple. It's very simple. Confirmation about Ahsoka series, the castings, and a goddamn release date, please. I know I'm asking a lot. Give me Sabine Wren. Here's what I don't think we will get, but I hope we do, David. Are you ready?
Yes.
A theater marathon of Mandalorian.
Oh, man.
A theater marathon of our Marvel Disney Plus shows.
I would immediately go watch Loki in a theater.
Yes. I'd watch them all. I'd sit there in a fucking day and die because I would never go pee. No, that's not true.
Kill Thomas.
Hold on, that's not true. I would totally pee during certain episodes in season 1 of Mando, because I know where the pee breaks are, because I've seen it enough. In season 2, there's really not that many. There's really not that many pee breaks in season 2. I'll be real. But then, like the Marvel shows, yeah, man, those are just bangers through and through. Like the one I want to watch the most on the big screen, because I've binged Loki, and that's fucking hard. It's just hard on your brain. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Mm.
That's the only one out of the three that is a single cohesive 6-hour movie when you watch it all together. WandaVision is still kind of broken up. You know,
WandaVision's its own thing. You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
Loki, each episode is like a what if episode. You get all this information, you get an entire complete story, and then I don't
want to do Loki personally. Like, it's to me, like you just said, it is that like kind of one story. It's crazy, but I feel like it would move the fastest for me, and it's my favorite MCU shows so far. And I think that would be the one where, oh my gosh, and like even just the end of episode 3, which everyone like doesn't like that episode, like that whole sequence, and episode 5 in theaters. Oh my gosh, like that would be awesome. I feel like Falcon Winter Soldier, it had good action. The first episode of Falcon Winter Soldier would be good. Like that opening flying sequence with Sam and stuff, like that would be really cool in the theater.
Think about it like this: watching all 6 episodes without credits of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I've watched the first 4 episodes, and I didn't realize I'd watched 4 episodes because they went down like that. Like it's so streamlined. And that's why I say that's the one, like on the big screen, I could sit there for 6 hours and not be stressed about watching it. Loki, because again, I highly recommend you binge Loki, David, in one sitting. And then I want you to come back and tell me. You fucking scrub. Because that's the one where I'm like, I would love to see it. I don't know if my brain could handle that story again, in that amount of time. Because it's a lot, dude. Again, by middle of episode 5, I was like, I just got to get to the finale. Because I knew once I get to the finale, it's way more chill. And you get a lot of information, but it is... the energy of that episode is so different, and it's like it's so refreshing because then it ends and you go, I can watch all 6 episodes again. Like I don't even care.
Right.
But then when you think about it, you know, like I said, each episode is its own movie.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yes. What do you want to
quickly? I had one thought. Imagine if like they had for Spider-Man, probably not, but for like Multiverse of Madness, if they had like Loki playing before. And then you can just go right into Multiverse of Madness. That'd be so good. Let's
go. Ooh, while we're here really fast, I don't know if we've discussed this, but we should. The MCU timeline, since we're talking about Disney Plus, on the Disney Plus site and stuff, they have the, MCU timeline, if you will, and watching all in order, Cap First Avenger, Captain Marvel, blah, 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 blah. Post Endgame, WandaVision came out. It was the first. Then Falcon and Winter Soldier was put on there. It was the next one. Then Loki came out, and it goes before WandaVision. And now What If has come out, and it also goes before WandaVision, but after Loki.
Yeah.
So, David, they're doing what I've always been saying that they're going to do, non-linear storytelling. Which leads me to a very important question here, which we'll dive back into when we get to What If. This is a statement, not a question. Okay, it's a statement, not a question. Some of these characters from What If are likely going to be, as we've discussed with Captain Carter. I mean, we haven't even discussed episode 1, so we'll discuss that briefly. Captain Carter is supposed to be showing up in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's actually very important. Rumored to be showing up. And, I mean, it makes sense that What If has to be set before all of that. And it's very intriguing because everyone's like, well, everything we've seen doesn't matter then. Everything you've seen has been planned until that moment in Loki when he goes, oh, so I lied. I fibbed a little. I thought I knew everything that was going to happen until this moment. But we just crossed the threshold.
Right.
That is the moment that What If starts. That is the moment where, and it's crazy because 3 weeks after Endgame is WandaVision. And Loki takes place in under 3 weeks.
It happens. It feels like days when you're watching it. And as you in that scene in episode 5, it's like, how long has it been? Has it been 2 weeks? Has it been 2 days? Like, I don't even know. Like time. And in that, it's so out of time, that show. It doesn't even feel like almost any time's passed in a way. except for like
Yes.
episode 3, where you actually feel like a few hours like passed there. But other than that, it's moving so fast, and when you're in the TVA, it's almost like time stops or is just, I don't know, just indifferent, right? Like it's just not even like relative to the TVA, and then when you pop back out of it, then time moves. But anyway, yeah, I agree. The whole timeline thing is really interesting, and it what I like about it too is, so on Disney Plus, there's no Far From Home's not there, but you would assume Far From Home also is like afterwards, like probably like a little, like it'd be the slot after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And it makes sense that all this multiverse stuff could have been happening while WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier were happening in their own universes, but they were going to get the effects of that and start seeing it in our, live action real world in No Way Home, probably in Multiverse of Madness, obviously. And then probably Ant-Man.
Ant-Man! The underrated franchise of Marvel, and I stand by that. And I think people are going to catch on once they see part 3. Really quick, everyone's been bitching and moaning, like, well, this DC did the multiverse first. And I just have to be like, you guys need to pay attention to important lines mentioned and the reactions said by them. 2016, Doctor Strange. Who are you in this vast multiverse? A very key line that everyone forgets. The multiverse has been in Marvel Cinematic Universe since 2016. When she mentioned that, the ancient one. Now, fast forward to Far From Home. I wish No Way Home was not also 3 words. Like 2 words.
No, it's very confusing.
It's super Far From Home confusing.
It's very easy to say like one or the other, because it's it's the same rhythm. It's like the same franchise. It's like going to take place quickly
Instantly.
after. It's pretty easy to mix up. Yeah,
it's tough. So in Far From Home, when they mention that he's from Earth, just not this Earth, the only person surprised is Peter Parker. Talos Fury isn't surprised. Oh, I like that name, Talos Fury. Talos Furry isn't surprised. Yeah, that's right. I don't remember Talos' wife's name, but Wife Hill is also not surprised. It's just like, yeah, that's a thing that happens. So, David, I just had a light bulb moment. We won't go down this tangent. What if Secret Invasion actually takes place over a very long period of time, and it's not about Skrulls? Not fully, but it's about variants.
I mean, one thing I've been confused. I mean, it's a possibility right now, the direction they're heading. And one thing I've thought about with Secret Invasion is like, so we're going to have this multiverse thing happening, and then also this whole Skrull invasion thing happening, and they're not connected. Like, to me, it almost seems like they have to be in some way to almost make it a congealed story, because that's such a Secret Invasion. That's a Disney Plus show. It's such a big story, I feel like, to the MCU that it needs to be connected to like the greater things happening here, and we're going to see it, I think, start to unfold. And I think if it's not exactly what you said, there will be some sort of connection. I would imagine, because if not, I don't really know why people would like be super invested in that conflict and that invasion when there's this overarching multiversal issue afoot, right? Like, and we're going to keep getting more and more of it.
Well, that's a good point. What if, I keep saying what if, I need that sound effect. In this case, when it comes to Secret Invasion, we've talked about the levels of the MCU. There's the cosmic and the grounded. Now we've got 3 levels. We have multiverse cosmic grounded, or should I say multiverse cosmic Earth. So,
yeah,
who's to say that Multiverse of Madness won't wrap up the breaking of the multiverse?
Like will Secret Invasion be a very, in a way, almost feel like a small story? I mean, that's a possibility too, where maybe it's not this like Loki event. It could be maybe a smaller story that leads to greater things.
You confused me when you said Loki. I was like, low space key or low key the person? Gotcha. It was low key the person.
The series. Yeah. So I don't know. How do we get from Disney Day to?
Because all of these shows that we're talking about is on Disney Plus. That's how.
Hey, we're on topic. We're on brand.
Oh shit! That's like that's what is that?
right
12,
here.
12 days before Hawkeye.
Ah, yeah,
Right?
and it's right after Eternals comes out.
Yeah. Ooh, David.
It's a week after Eternals comes out, actually.
It is. Oh my. I really wonder what we might learn from Marvel Studios. I feel, because, you know, you were saying that the Eternals feel so outside the MCU. And we were like, yeah, it's 7,000 years of a cosmic scale. Dude, like, what if oh man, we're not going to go down this rabbit hole. We're going to move on. We have another news point before we get to the what if episode 2. Black Canary spinoff is coming out. Oh shit. I'm really bad with names. But I'll do my best. According to Cinelinx, the studio of HBO or of Warner Max Media, whatever their name is these days, they keep changing it. Warner Bros. Has chosen Misha Green to write a film or potentially a series that is likely going to follow the events of Harley Quinn: Birds of Prey, focused on Black Canary.
Mhm.
Misha Green is known for her recent work on Lovecraft Country for HBO, a series that also starred Black Canary star Journey Smollett, who is set to reprise the titular role of Black Canary. Does David care?
I don't know if I care. But it's I don't know. I don't know if I'd watch it, honestly. I'd have to look at it. Like, it's not something where I'd automatically watch it, right? Thomas loved that reaction. Because I honestly, I don't know if I actually, like, I love the question. It's a great question. Do I care? I don't know if I actually care. Like, I like, and I'm a guy that really enjoyed Birds of Prey. And I like this character. I like this iteration of Black Canary. But this HBO Max series thing, especially if it's a movie on HBO Max, I'm so against that. This whole Blue Beetle and Batgirl thing happening, I'm like, come on. Like, this is what we were just talking about with Marvel and Star Wars. We don't want this to happen.
Okay.
But I don't know. I genuinely, do I care? I don't know. I'd have to look at, this would be a thing where, you know, like, say, more general fans and audiences, I would have to watch some, you know, a trailer or two to see if I actually wanted to watch it. Because I don't think inherently this character to me isn't like, oh my god, like Peacemaker. I'm gonna watch the Peacemaker series as it goes immediately. This character doesn't have that momentum for me. I don't know if I would immediately watch it, but if it looks awesome, I will. But it's not something that I immediately care about and immediately am marking my calendar for.
Okay, fair. I'm in. You had me at Journey Smollett. Really?
It's cool that they have the connection with the writer and the actress. Like, that's smart. That is always smart in filmmaking, to keep those things together and like have people work with each other once and like again and again and again. It always seems to work out better for these creators. And that, so it seems like they're going about it in a good way. Like, this is a good character, especially Black Canary is a cool just character in general for like, in DC Comics, and awesome name, awesome power abilities. Has a lot of potential to have her own series and show. So building out the DCEU and HBO Max is clearly going to be their plan moving forward in a lot of ways. So this is just going to be one of those other series. It is funny, like,
if it's a series or a movie.
Yeah.
And for really quick shout out, Spoiler Force podcast. Words are apparently hard today. Thank you for joining us, brother. Hope you enjoy what you're about to see of the shenanigans we're about to get into. I think this could go to theaters, David. I really do, based on the writer. And if she directs it, Misha Green is kind of like, I don't remember if she directed Lovecraft Country. I think she did, but you know, she worked with Jonathan Majors, right? So you've got Kang doing one thing, you got Journey Smollett doing one thing, and that's the best part is she's got her superpower. She's also a great singer. So you can weave a beautiful narrative and you could have original songs, right? I mean, there's so much that you could do with this specific version of the character.
Right.
That I'm all here for. And I think, you know, they're just starting the process. I'm pretty sure Journey Smollett is, I hope I'm saying her name right. I probably am not. I apologize, love. I think that she's got something else coming up I don't remember like off the top of my head, but I remember seeing it and go, oh, well, I'm watching that because that's awesome. That sounds awesome. And she's in it. Hell yeah. That I think is going to put her on another tier up. And once that, tier elevation, excuse me, it's going to be really, really hooking for a lot of people. We're going to take, you got anything else on Black Canary being awesome and beautiful?
No, except I, agree with those words.
All words are made up, but those are right. We will be right back. We're going to take a quick water break because you can hear my throat is killing me.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night, we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you, the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
And we're back. Quick shout out to Billy and the Commodore from Kitchen Killers hosting that great party at the end of MegaCon Friday night, excuse me. Great music, great times with people. It was great to actually meet them in person. We've been working with a lot of these people for the last year and change since CyberCon 2020. So got to meet all these people in person at MegaCon. It was just so nice. And, it's like those stories of people playing video games with each other for years and years and years, and they finally meet in person and they just have so much fun. That was us. We were having fun at MegaCon. We made a lot of jokes. They brought great tunes. Just good people all around. So go check out the Kitchen Killers, friends of the show. We'll have them on someday to play some music. Ooh, you know what? We should make them. They should just maybe we should. We'll talk about it after. What if I know that was a random thought in the middle. Sorry, folks. Theme song is what I was thinking. If that sums it up, ladies and gentlemen, we're like 2 weeks into What If. And we some idiot named Thomas kind of forgot to cover it at MegaCon. So oopsie daisy. So we're going to briefly talk about episode 1 and I can sum it up in a couple words. It was dope. David.
Yeah, it was cool. I think the best way to do it is comparing it to episode 2 because I enjoyed episode 1. This is the thing, my kind of general thoughts in this series. It's so much fun for diehard fans. This is so much fun for major fans of the MCU. Like it's just candy, right?
Major fans.
It's just so much fun to sit down, these animated series of these what if, and they change a couple of things around. And what I liked a lot about episode 1, well, actually, let me turn that around. What I liked a lot about episode 2 was that
we're jumping to 2 now.
Yeah, because episode 1, it was Peggy.
Dope.
Yeah, it was Peggy got the serum, and then the show for the most part until the end was basically the events of First Avenger, and it was kind of just crammed into one. And Bucky doesn't die, and there's jokes, and it's fun. Episode 2,
the calamari.
And episode 2, what I liked about it a lot was it took that idea of, hey, instead of Steve, it's Peggy. Instead of Peter, it's T'Challa. But in this universe with T'Challa as Star-Lord, so there's been so many butterfly ramification effects, right? The Ravagers are good guys, and I forget his name, but the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, he knows who Star-Lord is, and he has he has so many comedic beats in this episode of he's just a super fan, and so the Ravagers are they work for good, and T'Challa literally just the funniest part about it is that T'Challa just basically convinces Thanos that his idea is bad. And Thanos in this episode is a good guy. He reminds me of I don't even know, just some big bear,
I got you. He reminds me of Vegeta. Because yeah, I know, right? It's a good fucking pull. Because the Prince of All Saiyans, oh, that's gonna kill my voice. I'm not doing that. Because the Prince of All Saiyans started out as a bad guy, wanted to kill everybody, murder, murder, murder. And then he's like, well, if I can't beat you, I won't let anyone else beat you. And then it becomes like he's a good guy. He gets married. He's a better father than Goku. Goku can fucking suck it. That's right. I went there. Vegeta all day. That Vegeta family, keep it in the Prince line. And Thanos here does like the similar thing. And the best part is that he keeps his shtick. My favorite thing, and I keep quoting it on Twitter. It's like, I still think, I can do my Thanos voice real bit. I still think my plan had its own merits. Yeah, if you call genocide merits, I call it efficiency. Yeah. And they just keep harping on that. Yeah. And then like at the very end, it's efficient. And at the very end, after they've won the day, it comes up again, and he's like, again, I argue that it's just efficiency. And then you have Nebula going, Dad. I'm like, yes. Yeah. I love that. Super sexy blonde Nebula, right? Give me more Karen Gillan
that does
in anything.
Triple, like a triple turn and triple agent. I loved that. I loved how like T'Challa was pretty much always in control. Like, and it was cool having the Wakandan like elements in there, right? Like they've been looking for him, and like Yondu lies, and you really like. What's great about this one is that it's already established, like Star-Lord, like Chris Pratt was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and like there's this new dynamic, and we understand it immediately, right? Like T'Challa is basically just like a savior of sorts. Like he does everything right, and like that's true to the character mostly in the MCU, like where he's like very pure of heart and on all these things, and really cares about people, and like. Even especially in Black Panther, when like his father, this and that and the other, like he's the one that's like, no, this is not right, and it's just great. It's true to the character, and oh my gosh, at the end I was getting honestly really sad because like Chadwick Boseman kills it in this episode, like he's perfect, and it's so sad, but it's also like awesome he was able to get this performance done, and everything. So that was really cool. Like I think. Anyone should really go check out this episode just for that. Just the fact that you get to hear him be this character in this fun, goofy, like comic booky, just like episode of animation. And yeah, to me, it was fun. Drax was in it. That it's not Dave Bautista, but he was actually like he was funny. And I thought the biggest thing for me that was like a fun twist was the Collector being jacked.
You mean Big Daddy C? Yeah.
And he's got the little Thanos minions now and Squidward and everything. And
you mean the Black Order?
The Black Order. I always forget them because I think they've been kind of like the Black Order was not dealt a great hand in the MCU, in my opinion. They did not really set them up much.
I think they're better here.
In a way, they are, right? You can almost get to like know them in a bit more, where it's like, oh, like right, okay, this is the Black Order, blah blah, and it's just like I said, these what if shows are so much fun. Next week apparently is like Fury's like recruiting weeks or whatever. Like it's like supposed to be Fury like recruiting for the Avengers and the what if of that. So I don't know what that's going to be exactly, but what I really liked was that. Correct me if I'm wrong. It almost left it open at the end.
It's 100% open.
Yeah, with like T'Challa and Wakanda and all of that good stuff. Where I really like how there's like it's not just this one story. What if this and that's it? They don't just wrap a bow at the end. It's like but we're gonna continue this story possibly and show you more of like what could have happened and what could happen in this universe, which I think is really fun and smart. Where it keeps us invested as fans. Like it is a one-shot story, and you could be satisfied with that. But if you're a big fan, it's like, oh, cool. Like we're gonna get more of this story. We're gonna get more of this multiversal, different universe, which I'm excited about. And it makes me keep wanting to come back to the show. And we'll see if it wraps up. If we get more this season. But we know already a season 2 is like in the works. They even I think cut an episode from this season that's getting pushed to season 2. So. Anyway, I've had a great time with the show so far, and I can't wait to keep continuing on and get Spider-Man sometime here soon.
Yeah. For those that aren't watching the video, I'm wearing a NWA inspired Spider-Verse shirt. So
awesome.
coming straight out the Spider-Verse, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I agree. I love this show. I loved episode 1, but I loved it because I was like, cool, it's finally here. Like, yay. Here's the thing that I mean, Peggy and Steve are so similar in their mindset and how they view the world, etc. That made sense for that character. Oh, she's it. So they're still in a war. They still got to beat the war and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it led to bigger changes for Hydra more so than the Allies, if you will. And that episode ended with her in the future, right? So the Avengers are now maybe able to be selected. And it's not Loki opening the portal. It is instead Fury and Hawkeye opening that portal. And it ends with, well, maybe she's going to come back. And there's rumors that she will, etc. And then this one ends. And I don't remember the first episode ending with this line, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Felt like we were about to see that. And I'll get to the trailer and how it all links up. But throughout this episode, there's a lot of stuff that are so subtle. For example, all of his stuff, Big Daddy C and his collection of weapons, he's got Cap's shield. Is Cap dead? And really fast, David, this entire story takes place in 2008. I don't know if you noticed that, but when he's abducted in 1988, 20 years later is when they're doing, like, it jumps 20 years from there, which is set after the opening scene. So I thought we were opening in like 2014 or 2015.
Guardians.
But then it turns out, and I did the math later, I was like, holy shit, this is 2008. So in 2008, Cap doesn't have his shield, Thor doesn't have his hammer, Loki's daggers are gone, fucking Hela isn't even alive anymore. And it seems like he either killed them or has them in his collection. Right? So there's a lot of other weapons there that I couldn't place yet. So, but that is a very intriguing thing. And we do, I mean, he gets defeated, likely killed. Nebula is great calling T'Challa Cha-Cha, so they clearly have some kind of relationship. They definitely flirt really well together, so I'm thinking that, you know, I'm thinking T'Challa pulled a Star-Lord, if you know what I'm saying. But it ends and it says, this is, you know, that's a story for another time. And it ends with, because they picked up the wrong kid. They didn't get Peter Quill.
Yeah.
You know, which really quick.
And the end with Ego.
Hold on, I love the line early on when they're like, what are you talking about? He's got 2 hear holes, 2 see holes, 1 eat hole. It fits. Oh, humans look the same. Shut up, Taserface.
Yeah, Taserface.
It was so good how they like wrinkled that in there. And so when it does end and Ego comes to pick up Peter Quill, which we saw that and we were like, what is this? In the marketing, we saw him like mopping, and I was like, "Is that Ant-Man? Is that Peter Quill?" It is. It's just Ego saying, "Hello, Peter. I'm your dad." Like the eyes light up, and it makes me think about the next time that we've seen a lot of the marketing of T'Challa, a lot of T'Challa in the marketing. Excuse me. One of which is in that Avengers style shot. T'Challa Star-Lord is there with, I guess, Mad Titan Gamora, what looks to be Killmonger Black Panther, and Party Thor. Party Thor seems to be its own episode.
I hope
T'Challa seems to be his own episode. Killmonger seems to be his own episode. So how will these all tie in? Again, David, 2008. The same year that Iron Man, well, in our universe, the same year that Iron Man came out. Right. But it could have been, I think it's 2010 or whatever that Iron Man gets abducted and becomes Iron Man because instance might later, blah, blah, blah. That's about the same time. So he just got to Earth. Perhaps Killmonger is a good guy and was brought back into Wakanda because, well, T'Challa is gone. We have to get the son, the prince, because we need an heir. And so he comes in, learns he's Wakandan. They get to talking. Blah, 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 blah. And maybe because T'Challa was taken, they never kill his brother. Like T'Chaka never has to kill his brother, right? So now Killmonger is a good guy. He goes on that same path. I'm going to join the military. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And he's a good guy. Saves Iron Man. Becomes Black Panther. Then he links up with his cousin T'Challa. How do we get Gamora? I don't know. How do we get Party Thor? I don't know. But it does seem like if this T'Challa is that same T'Challa from the same universe, and that Avengers shot happens, Ego and Quill seems to be the big bad of that situation.
Yeah, I asked something on Twitter along these lines. Where it's like, is this all in the same universe? Do we think? Like, is this what if story so far, even just with the first 2 episodes, like, is it in the same universe? 'Cause that would be interesting to me, where like both were open ended, and we could build something out here where it's this is like, Earth 2 or whatever you want to say, like how it happened on this world, because like almost in Visions it's going to be completely separate stories, but I could see where Marvel would want to say, hey, like this is just this other universe, but it's all happening in the same time. And I think that'd be really fascinating, like you said, an Avengers style team up where it's Ego at the end and stuff like that. That would be so cool with all these different characters and everything. It's funny, like something I was just thinking about while you were talking was, where is this gonna like rank, for Marvel and like my MCU rankings? Because part of me thinks it's gonna be like it's gonna look really low on my list. Just because to me it's like supplemental in a way. It's like
for now, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, this is awesome. I'm really enjoying this. But like it kind of just is its own side story, literally the what if of it all in the animation, and it's you're not even getting all of like, one thing that pulled me out of the first episode, I won't lie, is that Steve wasn't Chris Evans. That made it took a little bit away from me, and like just genuinely it made me think like, huh?
I tried to say interesting, but I said a different word, and I don't know what the hell I said. Sorry about that. Interesting.
Yeah, like that to me actually, it took it a notch down for me in a way where it made me feel like, oh yeah, this is the B team. You know what I mean? Like this is like a little side. This is the animated like little series here, and I'm still like, that doesn't take away from my enjoyment necessarily, but takes away from like this is fun, but this isn't really like building, like, I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, this isn't really like they're putting out like kind of their best effort. They don't have like everyone actually there, which might not even be their fault. But Dave Bautista said he wasn't even asked, which I think is crazy.
Not that crazy. Not all the things you said about Disney. I can see it. Yeah,
it's just, I think it's kind of whack, and I mean it's fine. It doesn't really hurt the show that much, but in my enjoyment of it, I'm like, oh right, like that's not like literally in my head, like that's not even like Steve. Like it's like a new character, and actually it worked in a way. It worked in its favor because it is a different it was a different universe and different iterations. So him sounding differently almost made it like a new character for me. But if you're trying to tell me that is like Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, it didn't really work in that way. But I still like all to say, I'm going to really enjoy this series. I think I'm going to have a positive review probably for every single episode, because I'm a fan of all of this, and they're just genuinely fun things to watch. I don't rush to watch it like I do with Loki or with Mandalorian or with WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I took I watched it in the afternoon. I'm like, oh right, yeah, like what if? That's just kind of my mindset with it, I guess. And for those reasons, it probably won't rank very high on my list, but it's this weird like, I'm going to really enjoy it. It just may not rank that high on my list, but who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe they'll like pull off a story so well crafted that it'll have to go high on my list just because it's so good. But for right now, like, I'm very positive about it. I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait for Wednesday. But it's not one of these shows where I'm like chewing at the bit to watch every week, I guess is my point.
Okay. I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
Shocking, I know. I am. Like, it's the first thing I did on Wednesday. I woke up at 2 a.m. for work. Super fun time. My last truck shift, so super fun time, actually. Got up at technically 1:45 because I had to pee. So I got up, started breakfast at 2 o'clock. I opened up Disney Plus on my iPad, started watching it. It ended. I cried, dehydrated the hell out of myself with it.
Yeah, I bet.
And then, I'm thinking about it all day. I come home and I watch it again about the same time that you watch it for the first time. And I just loved it even more. And the thing that I couldn't piece together in both viewings, but I was waiting for the credits to roll, with all the voice actors. I knew Drax was not going to be the same. I couldn't tell if the Collector was the same. He had certain inflections that
Apparently
I was like, yeah,
it
it sounds
was.
like him. Oh, it was. No, like
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro was there.
Mhm.
Josh Brolin was there.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Korath, whose name I will never be able to pronounce for whatever reason until I see him enunciate it with his mouth, so I can do the same thing. Very visual. Karen Gillian is
Yes.
Nebula.
Tell it's
That
Nebula.
one was.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't. I was
Really?
like, it sounds.
Oh,
I was like,
that's
it kind
funny.
of sounds like her, but I was like, it feels like the cadence is way different.
for me, the
You know?
Collector felt off, and so did Bucky
The
Barnes last week.
Bucky didn't. Well, Bucky felt off in terms of like the character itself, but it's a different
I didn't even
style.
tell it was.
Are you serious?
I seriously, no, genuinely.
Oh wow, that's impressive. That was the thing that like hooked me into the episode. Like, because once he showed up and he said something, I was like, oh, look at that. It's Sebastian
I think because
Stan.
Peggy was so like that, you could tell it was Haley Atwell so much. That is that character for some reason. I don't know why. And I've actually seen differing opinions and stuff actually on the internet of like, oh, I didn't know it was that person, or I didn't know it was this. Like it's almost like you're having some sort of like hearing experiment right now amongst fans, because like, why is it that I thought, like, for me, Nebula, that was her. Like I immediately am like, oh, that's got to be her, right? The Collector, I'm like, Bucky, I'm like, wait, is that? I thought Sebastian. I'm like, and I thought Sebastian Stan did this. And what's funny is Drax, whoever voiced Drax, did a pretty good Dave Bautista. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of like Dave Bautista.
He had the cadencing down, but I've listened to Bautista since I was like, I don't know, a young kid. Like a teen, because I've been watching wrestling. I was watching wrestling when he was coming up. So I've been there for a while when it comes to his voice. So in terms of like Drax, I was like, definitely not Dave Bautista. Really, really good Drax though.
Yeah.
Like I was worried it would take me out of it, and it actually didn't. Especially when he was like, oh, we have to take another one. You look terrible. I look great. I was like, okay, yeah, that's Drax for sure. You may not sound the same, but it fits. Same with Steve Rogers. In last episode, didn't sound like Chris Evans. I mean, he had moments where I was like, that's a really good Steve Rogers right there.
And it's not even to criticize the voice actors that are replacing our, the main actor. It's just like, it doesn't feel right. And it's going to feel weird when it's Iron Man and Spider-Man. And that's going to get... is Michael B. Jordan Killmonger at least?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Because Michael B. Jordan has a very specific voice and cadence, and, like that's... Even, like, Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa is specific as well. Was T'Chaka the same? He sounded exactly right.
The adult one is definitely the same actor from the first.
Yeah.
Like from the I'm sorry. The elder is definitely the same. I couldn't tell if the younger was the same or not as the actor, because younger T'Chaka was a different actor, I believe.
Yes.
In Black Panther. So that was the one where I couldn't tell, but it sounded to me, I was like, it sounds close, but when oh bloody hell, what is that actor's name? Oh no, I'm an asshole. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, so I'm oh god, the internet, hold on. David, really fast Thor tangent, did you know that Hela creates the Necro Swords in the MCU?
No. Because
when the Collector said that, I almost lost it. Because you know what the Necro Sword is, right?
Not really.
It's what God the Gore Butcher uses to kill every god.
Ah.
Yeah. That's also the same Necro Sword that comes from a symbiote, and when paired with Venom, creates like a superpowered symbiote being. So get ready for that pop up. Get ready for that to pop up in Thor 4. But yeah, so I'm trying to find that actor's name while I was talking about it, of course. But anyways, Anyways, that actor I could totally tell was the same cadence, same like there was a stutter on a word that he would stutter in Civil War, and I was like, oh, that's so good, dude. Like, chef's kiss, brilliant how he kept that one little thing. Last bit of this, will it lead to more? Probably, who knows? But Chadwick Boseman loved this take on T'Challa and the voice and the personality and the idea that that he talked Thanos out of committing genocide.
Mm-hmm.
He used words. And as Thanos said, I'm a big enough man to admit when I'm wrong when someone presents a compelling argument. Although it still did have its merits. Like that whole thing, like the way they lead into that joke is he convinced me I was wrong. And I liked his idea on reallocating all the sources, the universe's resources to other people in a different way. So a real Robin Hood vibe, right?
Right.
And he literally was able to convince everyone to join him. And Chadwick Boseman came in after like their first recording and talked with a couple of people about how he wanted to take that voice of that version of T'Challa into Black Panther 2. And obviously, well before anyone knew that he was not going to be with us. So, yeah, I think that the more we see of T'Challa is going to be more and more heartbreaking for us as fans, knowing that was a nice bridge to where Chadwick wanted to take the character, especially as King, because we don't really get that much of his political, of his way with words, if you will.
Yeah.
We get it here and we get it there, but like the way that this episode set it up, it sounds like he's on par with Cap. He is on par with Sam. He's on par with anyone who, has that nice rousing speech of what we need to do, but can also hit you with logic and argument in the same way Tony Stark can. It's like he's got the Tony Stark arguments with the Steve Rogers, or with this, I'd say Sam Wilson, because Steve Rogers is a little bit, I'll hammer you in the nose with it. Sam is a little bit more, I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why you're wrong. And I think that would have been a great blend, and it could have led to an amazing discussion back and forth between T'Challa and Namor that we will no longer get.
Yeah.
David, where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, you guys can find me at my name, David Thompson, on Facebook, at David J. Thompson on TikTok and Instagram, and at David Thompson with 2 A's in the David on Twitter. Go follow me over on Twitter, guys. That's where I talk most about this sort of stuff. What if Spider-Man, and more Spider-Man, so go follow me over there. Thomas, what about you?
Sorry, I was reading a question in the comments, which we'll get to. You can find all of my links at Linktr.com/TCRochesterACT. That is TCRochesterACT. That'll get you links to my Facebook, my Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, IMDb, website, etc., etc., etc. And of course, LightsThunderAction. All of our links at Linktree.com/LightsThunderAction. All one word, no hyphens, no spaces. And of course, the HWWSWebTV channel on YouTube. Follow them, subscribe to them, follow on Twitter and on Facebook, etc. David, I know that you've got some recommendations for the audience this week, right? It's been a while.
Let's think.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you all watch Titans and Free Guy, right? But I sold Free Guy earlier, so I'm going to sell Titans to you right now. If you love Teen Titans, right? See, Teen Titans was great, right? Definitely made for kids, but Young Justice is like Teen Titans on a level up. Titans is like taking Young Justice and adding an extra level. Grounded, gritty, realistic. You know what? Here it is. Here's my sell. It's The Boys if superheroes had actual hope. That's Titans. Right. They drop F-bombs. They will beat you bloody. They will break the law as necessary just to do what they need to do. Very Batman. And in the promotional material of season 3, I've watched the trailer on this show, so this isn't a spoiler. Jason Todd becomes Red Hood, right? Oh, fuck. Boy, did they do that in the first episode, right? I thought they were going to take time to build to that. No. Jason Todd dies in the opening scene of episode 1. And he's Red Hood in episode 2. Because episode 2 is titled Red Hood. So it's not even a big spoiler. Then episode 3 happens and it ends on a major cliffhanger. Episode 4 takes it up to another level, a slower pace, but another level. And I really think that I can compare this show with The Boys, but the superheroes aren't total fucking dickhead douchebags that should die. They have hope and are still trying to do the good thing. It's so Batman, right? It's so grounded in the Batman lore. Titans, HBO Max. If you want me to recap season, you know what, David? Thor might have to recap season 1 and season 2 just to help people out, because it's fucking good, but it is a bog of setting up 15 characters through 16 episodes or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Season 3, right into the shit, baby. David, what's your recommendation for our audience?
So I recently watched The Departed, which is Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Nicholson. Even Mark Wahlberg's in there. Martin Sheen. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah. And you want to know? I'm not a cop.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's like I didn't. It was funny. I saw it on Netflix and I clicked play and I'm like, I saw Leo on the cover and then all of a sudden at the beginning of the movie it's Matt Damon and I'm like, I thought it was Leo, not Matt Damon. Oh, I guess I got it wrong. It's a Matt Damon movie. And then I realized it's both of them. Like, oh, this is awesome. Then Mark Wahlberg pops up, and it's like all about Jack Nicholson, and it's like such a great movie. I can't wait to watch it again. Honestly, like it had me guessing. It's Scorsese, so it's just like there's so many just like Scorsese isms in it when it comes to like the fighting and how people die and things like that. Where I really enjoy it. Terry says it's one of his favorite movies. I think it might be one of mine now too. I gotta watch it maybe one more time. It's like the acting, like it's such a cool time, like where we got those actors at that time in their career in 2006. I really enjoyed it a lot. I'm excited to watch it again, and yeah, I'd recommend that if you haven't seen it already. You probably have, but I watched it for the first time and I really enjoyed it.
The first time?
That was the first time I ever watched it. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so if you like The Departed, David, The Departed has a very similar tone to Titans.
Okay.
Like that's a really good way to describe it, especially season 3, excuse me. It's very, oh man, that's a great symbiotic suggestion for our audience, man. Go watch The Departed first, because it's only 2 now. I want to say it's 2 hours 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
With the credits.
Roughly.
I don't know how many times I've seen that movie. It's so good. It's one of those so good that I don't want to watch it a lot. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I want to preserve the surprises that happen throughout. My last recommendation, because I forgot to mention it, listen to Bobby Tarantino 3 from Logic. That album, it's so good, dude. It's his last one on Def Jam. He came out of retirement to do it. Highly recommend that. But ladies and gentlemen, we reached the end of the show. So that means we have one question in the comments. And that is from Terry McIver, our social media master. With all these variants looking the same as the originals we know, is this President Loki's reality? It's a good question, David. And this is in reference to the what if of it all. What do you think?
Yeah. Maybe. I thought about how variants are supposed to look different, and I think they might. I wonder if they touch on it with Spider-Man, because the Spider-Man we've shown to me doesn't really look like Tom Holland much compared to other mock-ups.
Looks like Chris Evans and Andrew Garfield had a baby to me.
Yeah, and like
and I like that.
And sort of Peter B. Parker from Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, exactly. That is a very, very good query. It could be President Loki's reality. And here's the thing, Terry, it's probably not. I mean, if I had to put odds on it, it's probably not his reality.
Right?
But who knows? You know, you never know.
President Loki was such an idiot anyway.
I believe episode 3 is like Loki on Earth, and I've seen. Oh yeah, no, I've watched. Yeah, I saw a promo, and it got to a one shot in the trailer, and I was like, nope, I'm done. I don't even want to know what's going on in this. And it really looks insane. Like episode 3 looks absolutely insane, and I've heard it is the best of the 3 because it's so original. You don't see what's coming. Speaking of, you don't see what's coming. It's the end of the show. So, as always, there could be no show without the Clark Kent doppelganger to my right, world-famous journalist, David Thompson, bringing the news and spicy webs. Thank you to Terry McIver for joining us throughout this entire show and for his hard work behind the scenes, scheduling guests, working on socials and research without whom none of this, this show would just be absolute bush league. Thank you again to the HWWSWebTV network for supporting us, carrying us on the network, getting us into cons, Space Coast Fan Fest. We might be there. Might be having then within a month and a half, we'll be having 2 live shows together. Like, that's fucking mind-blowing. Maybe this time we'll bring our Christmas presents for each other that are 2 years old, almost 3 years old. Most importantly, thank you to you, our fans that join us weekly, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube,
or listening via Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or Spreaker.
We appreciate you spending your time with us.
Please like, follow, subscribe, drop us a comment, leave a review, and give us 5 stars if you're feeling generous. We appreciate all of your support.
As always, I am Thomas Carter Rochester.
I'm David Thompson.
And thank you for joining episode 67 of Lights, Thunder, Action. We will see you next time for all time.
Always.
Catchphrase.